You've got azradio.live's Independent Artist Spotlight Show with today's guest, Doug Barnett, brought to you by Kirk's Studio for the Performing Arts. Kirk's is the Valley's premier music studio. Call us or go to kirkstudio.com. Also by the Arizona Orthodontics Studio. And azradio.live is a 501(c) operating under our nonprofit Rhythms House, providing free lessons and support to those in need. Go to our website to donate today. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Barnett.
Baby's got a yellow El Camino. She's driving down the coast to San Francisco. Trees and mountains flying past. She never lets up on the gas. Driving in that yellow El Camino. She bought it almost 15 years ago. Got a big block engine and 4 on the floor. Pedal down with all her might. She's the shiny shaft, bright sunlight. Driving in that yellow El Camino. She loves that El Camino. Takes it everywhere that we go. I can't say a word, and I know it sounds absurd. She don't love me like she does that El Camino. Well, she's speeding in the yellow El Camino, past that radar trap in Sacramento. Well, now her nose is out of joint, license pulled, 18 points, impound lot for the El Camino. She loves that El Camino. Takes it everywhere that we go. I can't say a word, and I know it sounds absurd. She don't love me like she does that El Camino. Yeah, I know it sounds absurd that I can't say a word, and I wish she loved me like she does that El Camino.
Doug Barnett. Doug Barnett, where have you been all year?
All year. Well, mostly I spend it at the Desert Rose Steakhouse every Sunday. And we'd do a show there, benefit for all different people, including Kirk's studio here.
Well, wonderful.
And so it was like a 3-hour show, and we would prepare most of the week for that.
Well, great. And let's see, what is it? You were on our show about February, was it?
Yeah,
February,
March.
You were one of the first voiceovers we've had on our show.
Yeah.
Like I told you, you're the voice of azradio.live.
Well, I have my FM voice, if that's what you like.
Absolutely. And what other events do you have coming up at the Desert Rose Steakhouse? I know that's pretty much a venue of local entertainment for the Valley. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's a lot of entertainment there. We don't have anything currently. We used to have a weekly show, and we decided to go event by event. So we're talking to the owner about getting some other, like a battle of the bands and some other things going at the venue, because it's large enough to accommodate almost any kind of thing. And but we still go there and play. And we have some friends on Friday night that has an open mic, the Used Guys Band.
Oh, that's when I talk, right?
Yeah.
When you stop talking, I was supposed to start talking. It's Christmas, and just a couple days after Christmas, and you've got a song called "Another Christmas Here."
Yeah.
What is that song all about?
Well, must have been 10 years ago. I was I was living in Washington at the time, and I was standing outside my front door on the porch, and it was 17 degrees, and it was freezing, and this song just sort of flowed out of my head, and I went, okay. So I walked back in, and the day before that, I had been down at the place I play, which is KDJ's Bar, and they asked me, what are you doing for Christmas? And I said, well, I'll be here. And I thought, okay. So I took that phrase, I'll be here for Christmas Eve, and he'll be here for Christmas Day, and I put it together with basically what went on in my head standing on the porch.
Wow.
And came up with this.
Another Christmas here on azradio.live with Doug Barnett on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show.
It's 17 degrees outside. The ground is frozen hard. The cars are skating down the street again, and there's frost out in the yard. I'm standing here on my front porch step, just breathing in the cold. Tracks of ice upon my cheeks, I'm starting to feel old. But I'll be here on Christmas Eve, and I'll be here on Christmas Day. Me, the dog, and the television, only one of us has anything to say. And I'll pray that everyone is safe. I'll pray that everyone is full and warm. I'll pray that Santa comes to visit me, and he leaves you in my arms. Remembering a snow-filled day, bundled up with you, is spilling out of my memory onto the frozen morning dew. Wrapping presents in the living room beneath a midnight Christmas star. Dreaming now, I close my eyes and I wonder where you are. But I'll be here on Christmas Eve, and I'll be here on Christmas Day. Me, the dog, and the television, and only one of us has anything to say. And I'll pray that everyone is safe. Pray that everyone is full and warm. I'll pray that Santa comes to visit me, and he leaves you in my arms. The winter breeze is cold and sharp, and it cuts into my head. Brittle trees against a morning sky, the limbs are bare and dead. But roots go deep into the ground, spring's not that far away. I think I'll just go back inside and wait another day. But I'll be here on Christmas Eve, and I'll be here on Christmas Day. Me, the dog, and the television, and only one of us has anything to say. And I'll pray that everyone is safe. I'll pray that everyone is full and warm. I'll pray that Santa comes to visit me, and he leaves you in my arms.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
Merry Christmas. Music news. The band Interfate, Jay of the band Interfate, wanted us to let you know that Interfate will be playing the Marquee Theater on December 31st with the Black Moons. That is this year's New Year's Eve show, folks, and it falls on a Monday this year, so get plenty of rest for New Year's Eve. They have a new EP entitled Shedding Skin, and you can hear a few singles on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere. Just search under the band Interfate and hear the band. Everyone reach out to Tanya of Ciphered Existence and let them know we want them on EasyRadio.live. Call Janet Blankenship of Phoenix Amazon Entertainment. She's the one that makes it happen here in the Valley. Her number is 602-576-1856 for more information about the Valley's music scene. The Valley's own Carvin Jones and his band have been just announced a January 27th, 5 p.m. show at the Rhythm Room. You better get tickets because people are going to be there. Carvin Jones, Phoenix. And you know what? You better see him while he's still in Phoenix. And the Folk How is hosting the Guilty Pleasure Show their fifth anniversary, presented by 93.9 KWSS. And it makes you wonder, what is this Guilty Pleasures thing?
Yeah.
Well, it's they're artists that they're local artists that play music by the Backstreet Boys, ABBA, Lady Gaga, you know, all the songs that you never admit that you like. Britney Spears. I'll be playing some Britney Spears songs. Well, that's at the Folk How, December 28th at 7 p.m. That's Friday, and that's tomorrow. And you can hear these shows anywhere normally where you hear your podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, all on the Age of Radio Network. And that's this edition of Music News on this 27th day of December 2018, our last show of 2018 with the Doug Barnett, the voice of AZ Radio on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show.
Well, I'm happy to be the voice of the radio station here.
Well, we were talking about how you take things so serious, and you spent about 15 minutes talking how you perfected the voice of how to transmit over the airwaves, essentially.
Yeah. Well, I did. I did a lot of practice when I was young, trying to be an FM DJ, you know, and I used to do jokes like, and now, the gentle sounds of Megadeth, and, you know, and just have a guitar crank up in the middle of that. So.
Gentle sounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did record with the San Diego Symphony, so I guess maybe that was what
that's true.
Hey, you played at ABC 15's Operation Santa Claus a couple weeks ago. How did that go? Did you make it on TV?
Yeah, we got on several spots between 4 and 6 p.m. It's funny, we played for their water drive that ABC 15 had over the summer. It was out in Mesa, and that's how we kind of got on their radar. And they called and said, we need somebody to play some Christmas music while we start to give away the truck. They gave away a truck at Sanderson Ford for the Operation Santa Claus. And so,
very nice.
Okay, so my wife and I went out there and we played Christmas music for them while they did that.
Very cool. Was it a paying gig?
No.
Oh, but exposure.
It's all charity.
Charity, yeah. And also you got on TV.
Almost everything we do is some sort of charity benefit.
Good. And, you know, we're back to Desert Rose again, and that in itself is essentially a sort of a forum of our Valley artists for charity work, right?
Yeah, they do a lot of benefits there. The owners are very generous when it comes to things like that. If you have a benefit and you need a venue, he's more than willing to work with almost any artist, and then he'll give a certain percentage of the food sales to whatever the benefit is. And for us, he did that for 10% of the sales while our show was going on. And we effectively had a show while the place was closed. The steakhouse was closed, but it was open for us. So all the people that came in and all the money that came in was specifically for whatever benefit we were doing.
Very nice. Now, you were telling me about this next song. You named it Cinderella.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bit of a story behind this song.
Yeah, I wrote it several years ago, and it was called Fixated.
Fixated. It went from Fixated to Cinderella?
Yeah, well, I wrote it, and it was, I don't like to write unpleasant songs, but this one was kind of unpleasant. I was mad at somebody, so I just wrote, did that. And then when I went back, I realized that I really liked the tune, and I liked some of the lines, and so I just sort of evolved the subject into a much more like third-person kind of song rather than something that I'm mad at somebody. This is more of a observational as to how some people actually are.
And thus the title Cinderella.
Right.
By Doug Barnett on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show.
one-track mind that jumped the rail and headed straight for me. And you know when this thing fails, she just won't see. One-sided conversations, stars in her eyes. I can't tell what's really true or what might be lies, 'cause she's Cinderella. She's dressed up for the dance, and she thinks that I'm a prince in this fairy tale romance. Yeah, she's Sleeping Beauty. She's got the blinders on, and when she wakes up again, I may be gone. Tell her that I'm just a guy trying to find my way. She sees a hero that was born to fly, here to save the day. She waits for me to sweep her off her feet, rescue her, and then turn all of the pages back, start the tale again. 'Cause she's Cinderella. She's dressed up for the dance, and she thinks that I'm a prince in this fairy tale romance. Yeah, she's Sleeping Beauty. She's got the blinders on, and when she wakes up again, I might be gone. I wish that we could talk sometime, then I might get to see the girl who lives behind her eyes and not this fantasy. 'Cause she's Cinderella. She's dressed up for the dance, and she thinks that I'm a prince in this fairy tale romance. Yeah, she's Sleeping Beauty. She's got the blinders on, and when she wakes up again, I will be gone.
Very nice. This week, KZRadio.live will be adding new music by Vince Thrill and Interfate. As we said, just go to our site and type in their name, Vince Thrill, or the other guys, Interfate, and even Doug Barnett, and you can hear their music within 5 minutes. We've had acts actually take over our station that way. It's been amazing. This radio segment is brought to you exclusively by Carlson Seminars. Located right here in Incala Village, Carlson Seminars is bringing a new and exciting wave of financial education to our local community. If you ever wanted to learn to trade your own money on the highest probability, then attend one of our free Wednesday night sessions live for Scottsdale traders. To find out more information, call 312-771-3280 and register for our next live event. That number to call once again is 312-771-3280. The events are held weekly every Wednesday evening, and both new and experienced traders are encouraged to attend. That number to call once again for free registration is 312-771-3280. Disclosure statement. Carlson Seminars is an information company. Any topics of discussion are educational purposes for only and should not be mistaken as trading advice. Yes, we have a commercial, ladies and gentlemen. And now, as I go back to our script, gosh, Buffalo Rick Galliner. Do you know that guy?
That name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure who he is.
Well, he's a friend of yours on Facebook. He runs
okay.
he runs the MT or the something country western organization for Arizona. It's a nonprofit.
Oh, okay. I belong to several organizations. One of the ones I'm in is the West Valley Country Music Association. I'm not sure.
That may be it. That may be it.
him.
I think that's him, sir.
There's
Yep.
also a Central Arizona Country Music
Yep.
Association. and some
I
others.
believe he's the West Valley one. And then you were featured on the Country Music Saturday night at the North Mountain Brewing Company recently. How would you label yourself as a country western artist?
Well, I do country western. If you're watching on Facebook, I have a western shirt on, and
Okay.
but I try not to categorize myself. But I do country, I do pop, I do old standards, I do my own stuff, and I tend not to put myself in a place like that.
Sure,
But,
sure. Do you you've got some gigs coming up that you wanted to promote?
Yeah, on this coming Saturday, we're going to be at the Mesquite River Brewing, which is on Scottsdale Road, just south of Thunderbird. A friend of mine, Glenn Tirico, has a showcase that he does there, and so we're going to start it off at 5:30, and some other friends of ours are going to be there too. So it ought to be a real fun night. They have a jam at the end of the night, so everybody gets together.
Very neat.
And then, of course, the other one is the second leg of the 8th Annual Highlands Tour, where I go up to KDJ's in Renton, Washington, and play for that. That would be not this tomorrow, but the next Friday.
Now this is called a tour, right?
Yeah, my friend Dennis started flying me up there for a very short tour about 8 years ago, and because it was the first place that I'd ever been flown to for a tour, I started making shirts for them.
Do you want to hold up the shirt? We've
Yeah,
got it right
here it
there.
is.
I should have placed it closer. Make it an effort there. And this is the shirts that he gave the studio for promo purposes. And
Yeah, you guys have the first shirt. These are the ones that I just got this morning, and I'm going to be bringing them up to Washington next week.
amazing. How much are you selling them for?
Well, normally I sell them for $10, but most of the time, a lot of the people I give them to the people that are friends of mine. So this
Oh,
is more
nice.
of an honorary tour.
Very nice, and it's nice cotton too. It's heavy duty cotton.
Yeah.
Some of the shirts they make nowadays are that rayon stuff, and I don't know.
Well, to
That's
plug another online place, I buy them from Vistaprint, which you design you design them yourself. I mean, most of the graphics in that shirt are from there.
Yeah.
There's-
Well, that poster that's right to your left is Vistaprint, but then
Oh.
we started going to graphics, a graphic place near me that did the one right behind you, the AZ Radio Live one. That's pretty
Oh, okay.
happening. They did really good.
Oh.
I wish I could remember the names, but I'll remember it next week. So
It'll get on next year's show.
yeah, next year's show. And which brings me to this song. This has got to be our favorite. You said that you said your mother-in-law got angry at you when you
Oh.
played her this song.
Yeah, first time I played this for her because I said, and this is true. This is a true story. The song is completely true, and I started.
It is true.
I started playing it, and she, daggers were being thrown, and she was really mad. And then I got to the chorus, and she went, "Oh, okay."
When you hear the song, you'll understand this.
yeah,
It's
this is called "Girlfriends."
with Doug Barnett on the Independent Artist Spotlight Show on azradio.live.
My old girlfriend's in the kitchen. She's there waiting patiently. I'm on the couch with my new girl, and we're working on a melody. I got a girl in the bedroom in case I stay up late. I got another in the backseat of my car because we have a date. With all these girls in my life, I'll never stray too far, 'cause each one is beautiful and shapely, and each one is a 6-string guitar. They never fight with each other. They don't need to share my last name. They don't mind if I bring home another, and I've never heard them complain. When I want to make sweet music, anytime, night or day, they wait to feel my hands around them. They'll never turn me away. With all these girls in my life, I'll never stray too far, 'cause each one is beautiful and shapely, and each one is a 6-string guitar. This girl here needs little maintenance, just a change of clothes now and then, a set of strings and a dust cloth, and she's ready to play again. She doesn't like diamonds or sports cars. She'll never nag at me if I don't lend her out or sell her. That's the way it will always be. With all these girls in my life, I'll never stray too far, 'cause each one is beautiful and shapely, and each one is a 6-string guitar. Yes, each one is beautiful and shapely, and each one is a 6-string guitar.
Future guests on the azradio.live Independent Art Light Spotlight Show, Artist Spotlight Show. Thursday, January 10th, we have Derek Mendonca, who is a music therapist who will share how he uses music to help emotional and mental distress. I could use some Eric Mendonca right now. January 17th, we have Maxwell Young, our very own drum teacher, who will feature a drum technique type of show. Drummers, if you want some high technician sort of stuff, just listen to the show on January 17th. They're all at 7 p.m. now to accommodate our artists. February 14th, we kick off season 2 with special guests, the Cadillac Angels, for a special 3 p.m. show. We've got them at 3, then the Rhythm Room has them at 7 p.m. Mark your calendars. Thursday, February 14th, we begin season 2 of the Independent Artist Spotlight Show. And did I say we've got K-Sonic, Jane in the Jungle? We want L West. We want Ciphered Existence. We want Broken Girls from Affluent Backgrounds. We want The Secret Destroyer. Stay tuned, guys. Get in touch with us, and we'll book you on our shows. We've got Alyssa. What's her name? Alyssa. Oh, it's a great country artist. Well, I guess we don't know, but we're booked to actually.
She only needs, like most really good artists, she just needs the one name.
Yeah, I think it's Alyssa McDowell, but I should look at my calendar. But we're booked through April. So whether these artists will get on the show, that's to be seen.
It's like Elvis. Everybody knows who Elvis is.
Yeah.
Didn't need a last name.
Elvis. It's
It's
Alyssa.
That's
Heck
it. Yeah.
So,
I like it.
Okay, this is my favorite part of the show, I got to say. This is where we talk about random facts. And also we talk about things that you want to talk about. So
I like random facts.
Yeah. And so I'm just going to throw this out there. What are your thoughts about this government shutdown?
Well, it's politics. I don't know that they're actually shutting anything down there, and
they're opening the floodgates.
Yeah, they're trying to prove a point, but they're doing it on the backs of people that can't really afford it, and they're also kind of not really shutting it down. They're just sort of saying, "Okay, you don't get your paycheck until we finish this."
Yeah, the drama.
Yeah.
It's interesting about that. Like wall or no wall.
Well, we should secure the borders regardless of if there's a physical barrier or something. It's the best way to keep, honest people honest. It's like having a lock on your door.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the fact that he's calling it a fence now. It's not a wall, it's a fence. Biden.
Joe?
Yeah.
Well, I like him. He's a nice enough guy. I don't know if he'll be a good president if he runs, but he's a nice guy.
Does anyone remember Hillary?
Oh, I remember Hillary.
How about Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, well, my late aunt would have a considerable amount of stuff to say about Nancy Pelosi that I can't say over the air.
And lastly, Jared.
Jared, you mean the jeweler?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Can we afford Jared? The jewelry at Jared.
I can't. I think I have silver jewelry. That's as good as it gets.
Oh, great. Okay, and that wraps up that part. And we got song 5. And we are looking at song 5, which is Angels Unaware.
Yeah.
What would you like to tell us about this song that'll close out the show today?
Okay. Well, this is a song that a friend of mine has used this phrase for a long time, and because he kind of goes up and down emotionally sometimes, and he'll be at rock bottom, and when he's just depressed as all get out, someone will come by and say the right thing, and it'll just change his attitude, and he's right back up, doing fine. And so he calls them his angels unaware because they have no idea what a difference they've made in his life. And so he's used that for so long that I said, well, that's a really good a phrase. So I wanted to write a song that reflected his philosophy in this, and so I did. So this is for my friend Randy Patterson. Let's see if I can get this right here. Dark and lonely, I was standing here, and I never saw her wings. She smiled at me and then disappeared, her beauty like a breath of spring. My heart exploded in the morning air. Life became a thing that I could share, because a moment with this stranger there swept away all my despair. She's an angel. She's an angel unaware. I was destitute and on the road, crashed and burning in the rain, weighted down with a heavy load. I'm not a soul to complain. An old friend saw me and stopped to talk, just for a minute on that old sidewalk. Left a memory we both could share, lifting my spirits up into the air. He's an angel. Yes, he's an angel unaware. So many times I've seen kindness done and left behind without a clue. Unknowing words that bring a shining sun and a sky of crystal blue. But in the moment when the floor falls out and your mind is filled with doubt, and you think there's no one there, come the angels unaware. He's an angel. They're all angels unaware.
Angels Unaware by Doug Barnett. You know what? We're a little early on time. Let's talk about some more gigs that you've got coming up, and then we'll close out the show. But I want to give you one last opportunity to promote your charity work and all that.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a thing coming up in February. On February 10th, we're doing it's called the St. Cecilia Circle, which is we're Catholic, and there's Catholic musicians get together, and it's basically a social event for them. But this has also evolved into much more. So it's going to benefit Lotus Loft Maternity Housing, which is it's a Protestant organization that helps women who have children and they need someplace to stay, so they pay the rent for I forget how many women that they're supporting right now in that. So it's going to happen at McHugh Hall, and forgive me, I forgot which parish it was, but it's just off of 7th Street and Dunlap.
And what is the date of that again?
That's February 10th.
February 10th.
Yes, it's on our Facebook page at Barnett Productions if you want to go look.
Great. And speaking of that, you can listen to Doug Barnett's music on www.azradio.live and request Doug Barnett. Go ahead, play his music. We don't care. We love it. So thank you, Doug Barnett, for being our guest on our Independent Artist Spotlight show. azradio.live is brought to you by Kirk Studio for the Performing Arts. If you want the pros to teach you or your family, then think kirkstudio.com. Okay, Mr. Barnett, you know how we end the show, right?
Well, I can do the shortest song I've ever written.
Well, cool. but I say we're out of here, and I go 1, 2, 3, and we all say see ya.
Oh, okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, we're out of here. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
See ya.
Okay, we're off there. I believe. Yes. Okay, we're off there. Yeah. Okay, good. 36-minute show.
Close enough to give you cut your pay if you go over.
Yeah, I don't get the full pay if I don't do a full 45-minute show. No. I just try to pad it a little bit sometimes if we're short on 45 minutes, and I did a little bit of that. But we can't do too much, otherwise they start going. So I try to, but it was good. It was a good show. They were snoring on me, by the way.
No.